This is our vacuum cleaner. It's just a little Hoover. It's quite a few years old. That's the make and model there. This one has a HEPA filter on it. And the HEPA filter is just there on the output. So, how are we going to do this test? Well, I'm going to put the vacuum cleaner on low and then measure the smoke levels. So at the moment we have a smoke level inside of about 18. That's that first blue number there. That's the PM 2.5. So let's take it over to the vacuum cleaner and turn it on. See what happens. There you have it, 0. It's effectively cleaned the air. Let's turn the vacuum cleaner off. See what happens to the level. Let's just do it once more. Let's be a little bit scientific about it. Very good. Now it's not that smoky inside, around the 24, 22 mark. Let's go outside and see what we've got out there. Really quite high out here, around 64, 65. Now if we put the vacuum cleaner outside, let's see how effectively it filters this air. So there we have it. The inlet is outside. And we have a level just by the door, which is around 40 or 50. Alright, let's turn this on. Very, very effective. Completely filters all the smoke. Right, now that we've proved that the vacuum cleaner can actually filter the smoke, filter the air, how quickly can the vacuum cleaner clean a room? The way to answer that is with a little anemometer, and we'll check what the flow rate is coming out of that filter. So at its lowest setting, we have about 2 meters per second. Highest setting, about 4. This bit of the video involves a little bit of theory to try and figure out whether or not it's a realistic proposition to use your vacuum cleaner to filter smoke from an average sized room. Feel free to skip this bit. The short answer is, for our demonstration, to get down to sort of 50% of the initial smoke level in your room, it might take roughly about an hour or so. And for those who want to see the detail, let's work our way through this. So, in order to do some flow rate calculations through the vacuum cleaner, we want to try and figure out how many cubic meters per hour we can get through that thing, and then try and figure out whether the flow rate through the vacuum cleaner is fast enough in order to help to reduce smoke levels in that room. So let's work our way through it. We've got this flow rate calculation here, formula. We've got a cross-sectional area of the HEPA filter for the Hoover, the velocity of the air coming out times 3600 because it's meters cubed per hour. So for our demonstration, the Hoover HEPA filter has a 0.01 metres squared cross-sectional area. I just measured that with a tape measure, and we've just measured the velocity of the air coming out of the filter, 2 metres per second when it's on low and 4 metres per second when it's on high. When you put those numbers into the formula above, you get a 72 cubic metre per hour for the low setting and 144 for the high setting. So that seems like an awful lot of air per hour, but how long would it actually take to filter air in a room, and is it realistic to be using the vacuum cleaner? So we've got a little example here to try and figure that out. So we take a sort of medium-sized room, 72 cubic metres, 5.5 by 5.5 by 2.4, and we want to take the smoke levels down to say 50% and also 10% of the starting concentration. So the starting concentration is about 100 micrograms per cubic metre. Well, we can use an equation to do that, to figure out the time it takes to get down to 50% and 10%. We can use this. So we've got T equals the volume of the room divided by the flow rate, which we've just calculated up here, and the natural log of the starting concentration divided by the target concentration. So this is our starting concentration, and we effectively want to get down to 50 micrograms per cubic metre, 10 micrograms per cubic metre. So neglecting infiltration from outside air assuming everything's super well sealed and there's no wind, you get the following results. That would take approximately 41 minutes to get down to 50 micrograms when you start at 100. It'd take you 2 hours and 18 minutes to get down to 10%, or 10 micrograms per cubic metre. But realistically, you've probably got a natural air change rate within a well sealed room of about you might get 50% of the air volume exchange per hour through natural ventilation. That would be a very well sealed room. And that would mean that these numbers, 41 minutes, would actually blow out to about 1 hour 23, and the 2 hours 18 might take double that, 4 hours 36 to get down to 10 micrograms. That's on the lowest setting for the vacuum, so even at the lowest setting, vacuum cleaners are pretty noisy, so you probably wouldn't want to have it on for too long, otherwise you'd need the earplugs. But if you really are suffering with the smoke, maybe a little bit of noise might not be too much of an imposition if the air is the main thing that you need cleaned. So anyway, that's the demo. I hope it's useful.